Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time of day you're watching. If you're watching the replay or if you're coming into the live, thanks for being here. I'm PearlManhattan, and my goal with my channel is to demystify a lot of the things you can do with a DAW and making music. I'm glad you're here, or glad you're watching the replay, either one. First off, let me check my sound, make sure I'm doing right. Next week, next Sunday at this very time, Tyra, hey, good morning, Tyra White, welcome in. Next week, I will be doing a very simple tutorial of how I use OBS for the complete beginner. I'll be showing you how to set up the different scenes, how to make a be right back screen, how to make a starting screen like you saw, and how to make an end screen and set up your different scenes and stuff like that. Very simple stuff. It's not a high-tech tutorial. But that's the goal with my channel, is to show you that, you know, a little old lady from the Pacific Northwest can, figure out this stuff, then anybody can do it. It's not magical, it's not mystical. Today we're talking about samples, loops, and MIDI files. You hear a lot of talk of sampling. Sampling is when you take a full completed track of a song. It can be like you hear a song on the radio, and so you take a piece of that song. Or a completed file, and I'll show you what all these look like in just a minute. I want to get through the talking about it first. It's a full production song that's chopped or cut up and used to make another song. Now, something with samples that you need to know starting out. If you are making a song that you are going to play for the public, whether it's on SoundCloud or your own website, or you're going to try to send it to DistroKid to have it distributed to Spotify and Pandora, you need to have permission to take a whole song and chop it up and do what you want with it. You've got to have the permission of the person who recorded that song to do that. There is a site where you can go and get these master samples. It's called TrackLib. For a subscription fee, I believe it is, you can browse through and pick out so many master files, which is entire songs, and use those in any way you want. And you have, they clear the tracks, which means they get permission from the original recorder or performer of the track. They get the permission. They make sure that that person gets royalties for their contribution. So you can't just take a song you hear off the radio and chop it up and use it in your own song. You can use samples that you have been given permission to use. And usually if you buy a sample pack, you buy a loop pack, it will come with what permissions you have. The sample pack I'm going to be showing you today come from CurtisKing.com, and generally they have, their licensing is you can use it royalty free, free of charge, because you bought the pack, you bought the sounds. Loops are just one line, one track, a musical track, say a melody, a bass part, a drum line, whatever. That's one individual instrument or section, and you use those to make your song, enhance your song, add to your song. And if you hear something in the background that sounds weird, that's my son's computer. I live in a tiny apartment, and he's playing his stuff kind of loud, and I can't close the doors. And then we have MIDI files. A lot of times in your sample packs, you'll get MIDI files. These are files that have been converted to a MIDI format, which means how long the notes are and how loud the notes are have all been recorded in a line. And you can change the voice on that. You can change the instrument. And I'm going to show you that in a minute too. So, when you purchase a looper MIDI pack, like I said, it'll have the copy of those terms of use. Some libraries and packs do not permit commercial use of their loops. That means you cannot use these loops in a song you plan to put up for distribution and sale. Most everything that is recorded is still covered under copyright law and is not in the public domain. Okay? Public domain means that the copyright has expired after a good number of years. I can't remember exactly what it is. Excuse me a second. You're going to see my Be Right Back song. So, just a moment here. My apologies for that. But anyway, some libraries do not permit commercial use for their loops. That means you cannot use these loops in a song. So and also in some programs that give you access to a whole bunch of MIDI sounds. A lot of times they will have limits on what you can use those for. And then I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and they said they heard this song on a TV show, and they got to listen to it, and they recognized the drum loops from a preset pack that they had, you know. So you got to be careful. You never know who's listening, right? So let's get over here to Mixcraft. That's the DAW that I use. And I'm not sure how your DAW would be different. For mine, I get a little, and I'm going to switch screens now that I'm sure we're talking and we can hear everything. I'm going to switch to my MIDI screen and not watch myself talk. In my DAW, I have, it's called the library, and that's where I can access the sounds that come with my DAW, as well as my own personal sound files. And so I'm down here with Slap Experts. I've gotten a lot of packs from Slap Experts before they close. A lot of those packs are available over on curtisking.com. This one is one by I can't ever say his name, Nabyeyin, Nabian. And this is an example of a sample. This is the master. This is the kind of thing you would get off a track lib. You'd get a whole song. This is the master of it. There's not individual tracks listed out. It's all the tracks put together all at once. And so, oops. Also, in my DAW, it automatically detects the BPM and the time signature when I drag it up here. If yours doesn't, generally at the end of it, it will have a BPM. Like this one here says Fairy Dust 150 loop. So it will automatically detect. This one I'd already put in. This one's at 88 beats per minute. So to make sure it looks right to you, make sure you set your beats per minute. And then let's see. Uh-oh. Okay, give me just a second. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Oh, it's not what I wanted. Hang on just a second here. Oh, you know what? There we go. Let's try that. And let's see if we can. There we go. We're not playing. Oh man. Expert streamer here. Let's switch back to this and let me restart my my Mixcraft and see how that goes. This should do it. All right, now let me get back over here. Here we go. This should do it. Now we're back in Mixcraft. Let's go back here and choose this sample here. There's, I don't know that you can see the pop-up, but there it is. It says switch to a tempo of 88 BPM because I'm at 110. And I'll say yes. I know you can't see the pop-ups that come up, but here we go. So that is a sample. It's the whole track and it's all together. And what people do with these is, and chopping, it sounds complicated. You can, there's certain DAWs have programs that automatically allow you to do this. This is all I do to chop up a sample. As I cut that off, and I want to hear that more than once, so I'm going to copy it and I'm just going to paste it right, or I'm going to leave a space and then I'm going to paste it here. I want some silence in between, so there we go. Let's just do 4 measures. I can always grab that again if I want it because it's down here in my library. It's kind of like moving something to a desktop to work on it. 2, 3, 4. And that's all that chopping up a sample is. Or if I want, I don't want to leave the space, I can put them all next to each other, slide it over, and I just have 4 bars of that first. Now, is that too soft? Can you hear that? Because it's really soft for me. Oh, you can't even hear that, can you? Is that coming through? Yeek. I'm going to turn that up a little bit more. Whoop. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do that. Let's see. I'm just going to let this circle around. Make sure you guys can hear it all right. No wonder you can't hear it. Now you can hear it. There we go. I may be slow, but I get there. So, what you saw me do, I cut it, I chopped it, and now it goes over and over again. Okay? So that's that. Next, we're going to talk about loops. That was a sample. It was the whole track chopped up. Next, let's go down and go back here. Let's talk about loops. Sometimes they're called stems, the individual parts. And this is the individual parts of that sample. These are the loops or the stems. So we have the bass. I gotta turn up my headphones, I can't hear anything. You recognize that? That's the keys. That's just the roads. So let's say I didn't want, just mute it. Let's say I didn't want the whole thing. I didn't want all of his bass. I want to add my own bass to it. So I'm going to take just the roads because I like the roads. And instead of taking just one measure, I want to make this interesting and I want to make it into a song. So I'm going to chop that loop in half. And we're just going to, I just copy and paste. That's all you got to do is copy and paste. Like I said, this is for my DAW. Your DAW might look different. the song I just shared in some places, February Album Write a Month, and I shared it with some friends. Now I've taken that loop and I've chopped it up, and I just have the and then for something different, I can take the second half, add it here, and then let's copy and paste that a little bit. And feel free to say hi in the chat. Feel free to ask questions, because that's what I'm here for. Shouldn't have played the whole thing, should have done that long. So this could be a B part. You know, but there you go. That's chopping up loops and samples. Another example of loops. Let's see, what else have I got here? Here's another Slap Experts. What's in here? Oh, cymbals. I like that cymbal swell, and I just want a little accent here and there, so I'll just take that audio file and stick it in there, and stick it in like every 2 measures. Wait, that's 2 measures, that's 2 measures, every 4, because every other 4, because it's too much just for one. And then we got actually, I could even shorten that. And then, let's see, we can shorten that. It's just drag and drop. It's like doing painting with, or working in a word processor or Canva. So there, we dropped that one in. That's loops. That's it. That's all there is to it. Most time you can drag and drop. Places I like to get loops are well, CurtisKing.com. I'm kind of partial to that. I'm a member of his community, and I like the loops he puts out. He spends a lot of time on them, and they are original. He doesn't take other people's loops and turn them into his, you know. Let's see. Ooh. Okay. I like that one. Let's see. It's in the key of D, but we might have to fix it. Now the BPM is off. This is how I edit a sound. I have this little program down here, that little windows that let me look at it. It's too long, so I want to make it shorter so it will fit. So I changed my rate adjustment. Okay, and I might have to transpose it. So let's see. So let's go back here. I don't like it. I can't get it to fit. It's not in the right key. So I just do that. And I go back here to the library. and pick a different one, pick something else. Let's put little drums on it. Oh, that's too much. So there you go. Those are loops. Now I'm going to show you Midis because Midis are my favorite. I'm going to start a new project. No, I don't want to save the changes. Okay. New project. Now I'm going to show you some Midis. Here are some MIDI files. These are the MIDI files. We're going to pick the MIDI file from the sample we were just working at. And if you look, I just drag and drop the MIDI files, and here it comes up and it will say what the original person who made these loops. Turn my volume up some. All right, hold on. My volume up. Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? And let me turn down the turn down that a little bit more. All right, how's that for you? Does that work? It's going to take a minute because there is a delay. Good to see you, Gator. Hi, I will be there tonight. Last night I got the first chance in 2 months to get out of the house and go visit my boyfriend, of all people. We hung out and had a nice dinner and hung out. So, and let's hear how this sounds if I just pull it straight out of my library. Yeah, you know. Now I know this is the bass line because he said that's the person who made this. They said that's the bass line, but I can go over here and change my instrument. And let's see, what kind of a bass do I want on that bass? I usually liked, what do I choose? Usually I choose that one. So let's listen to what that sounds like now. Ooh. We're going to turn this on and we're going to find a good sound for that. This one is for Ig. Sound selection's important, you know. I'm liking this fretless bass for it. I really am. And we have 2 bass tracks. Oh, that's the fretless bass. Okay. We're going to delete this track. It's the same track. Somehow I duplicated it. Whoa. Oh, I see. He's got 3 bass tracks here. Delete track. Or did I duplicate it and didn't realize? There we go. Let's go back and change this. Change instrument. What were we on? For you FL Studio fans, I actually have the FL Studio VSTI. I can put FL Studio into bass. What did I have? Fretless bass. That's what I had. Okay. This Rhodes sounds a little too harsh. So I'm going to change the instrument. Let's go down here to I like this chorus Rhodes here. I don't like it. Let's go to that one. We'll just choose that one for now. This is a piano, so let's make it a good piano. Whoops. There we go. You're not going to be there tonight? Okay. Or you didn't make it last night? That's fine. I wasn't there last night either. We are looking for, what am I looking for? Piano. So keyboards, piano. I like this electric grand for my piano. And this is a guitar, change instrument. Let's go down here to my guitar, electric, or coursed and clean. Let's do coursed and clean. That means no distortion on it, like no rock and roll. And you notice I was at 110. When you put the midis up here, they go by your time signature. They stretch it to fit your time signature. So that's a little too fast. Let's put it back at 88. Now this is the neat thing you can do. I want this to be soft pad. Am I still broadcasting? Yeah, okay. Just making sure. And clavinet, doesn't seem to be anything on the clavinet. Nope. So we'll just go ahead and delete that track. Clean it up. And that's MIDI files. That's it. And it only took me like 20 minutes to show you all that. I get a lot of my MIDI sounds. There's a place called VST for free. I put these sites down in the description, so you can always check out the description if you forget what I tell you. Now I don't like the piano. I think I want some strings there. And my thought is, this is not cheating. It's not cheating to use loops. It's not cheating to use MIDIs. At all. It's not cheating because it's just another tool, like AI. You just got to make sure you have the permission of the person. I'm tired of that. Let's make this some brass. This is why I like MIDIs, because I can go back and do sound design. Another thing you can do with MIDI files is, I don't like how short that bass is. So I'm in here in the MIDI editor, and this is how you can put in notes without a MIDI keyboard. Now that's hanging out. But I don't like those horns. So I am going to change the instrument. Let's do some some winds. a woodwind ensemble. And let's make this. I want to make it pitched percussion. Let's make it a kalimba. Or let's make it xylophone or marimba. Or let's, one of my favorites, saxophone. And let's extend those notes out. Or let's even, there you go. One of my favorite strings. And so we took a MIDI file and changed the instruments around, gave it a totally different tone. And then we come over here. This is how I make a lot of my, let's get some Curtis King drums just to make it really strange and funky. Let's see. There's DEM Beats. Oh my goodness, I have some DEM Beats kit. What else have we got? Ah, here we go. Drum loop. Creed, how you doing? Welcome in. I'm almost done. It didn't take long, so you do want to catch the replay for sure. Yeah, I like that one. Why don't we throw that drum loop on it? And then I'll show you a little bit of how I mix. Let's see, what do we got? The woodwind ensemble, I'd like that to come from both sides, so I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to pan it a little bit to the side, make it a little wider both ways. Duplicating it made it a lot louder than I wanted. Oh, pardon me. Let me take a sip. This is an example of a loop. The drum line, that's a loop. The rest of these are MIDI files. And one thing I like to do is I will go in Band in a Box. I'm going to do that with my Hall strings too. We're going to double it and pan it out a little bit. If you see me making weird hand gestures and blowing around, there's a fly in my room, and it is bothering me. Ooh, pardon me. I'm going to take that down a little bit too. And take the drums down. This cello I want louder, so I'm going to do, what am I looking for? Compressor. I'm going to make it less dynamic. And you can put these effects, compression, all this stuff, you can do them to Midis just like you do them to a sound file. And boost my output gain a little bit. Kind of make that the solo instrument. And then I'm going to get rid of all these extra tracks because I want to show you a VST I love using that I got really cheap. I'm just deleting these empty tracks. I got my master track. This is where I throw all my secret sauce. iZotope makes some wonderful things. This one I just found and I absolutely love it. You're not going to be able to see the pop-ups of it, I don't think, because I don't have that set up. But when you open it, it's got all these different settings that will master it for. This, I think, let's try the easy listening. It applies, right? Get the hammer. All it does, that's what I do for mastering. It puts some reverb, it puts some limiters, it puts all the nice little things and sets the all sorts of stuff and just makes it beautiful. I used to do iZotope, what was it called? Let me do it here so I can see. I used to use Ozone. I got a free copy of one of the older versions of Ozones, but this was extra cheap. It was like $3. It was on a super sale. And that's that. Any questions so far about anything I've done? Your DAW will look different. Oh, I was going to tell you about Band in a Box. I will go to Band in a Box and to the chord screen and type in my chords, set my instruments, and then I will go up and save it as individual files, WAV files, and I'll cover that in a Band in a Box show doing in a couple weeks. And then I take those Band in a Box files, and let me show you how I do that. New project. No, I don't want to save those changes. Everything looks good for now. All I do is I save those Band in a Box files, and then I go over here to my library, and let's see, music. Where is it? I think it's in downloads. There it is. So for sorry I don't have the spoons today. I actually recorded that in, I recorded that here. And how I did that was, if you look down here, here are all my Band in a Box Band in a Box folders. Here we go. Here's one I have not recorded yet. And that's actually a Band in a Box file. There we are. Here are the loops. These I pulled straight out of Band in a Box. This is how I saved them, individual tracks. And I can take those. With Band in a Box, they'll give you a master track. And there's my automatic tempo, switching it to 100 beats a minute. This is they pull off, when you save them, what plugin is that for iZotope? iZotope Mastering Essentials. I don't have a chat up, I can't type it in, but Mastering Essentials. iZotope Mastering Essentials. But this is the main track Band in a Box gives you. This is the sample version of the Band in a Box track, because you notice it's got all the guitars in it. It's got all 3 tracks. There isn't a drum track for the song except for the click track, and I'll show you that in a second. So then these would be the loop tracks, and you notice the drum track is only that click track. And then I have guitar 1 and guitar 2. And from that, I can arrange, iZotope Mastering Essentials. I'll get that to you. I'll get a link where I got it. Then here's my guitar tracks. And these are not MIDI files, they are loops, because I extract them as waves. Now I could extract them as MIDI files and then I could change the instrumentations, but I love the sounds that Band in a Box uses. I like them already. So, and what I do to start with, whoa, sorry, gotta move the chat. Got the chat on my phone. I'm gonna take that drum track out because it's only the click track. And you notice there's space right here. And I don't even use the sample. I use it to fill in sometimes. So we'll leave that in, and I'll show you how I use that to fill in. Because it's the full track. And I don't slide it all the way over to the edge because I like a little space at the beginning of what I sing. This is track 2. I'm going to go down here to my mixer. And what I do with this track, like I said, it's the sample. It's both guitars together. And I will duplicate it and I will set it over. I'll pan it out a little bit. And then I have this interesting compression. It's in, I believe it's in the Acoustica compression that came with my thing. Nope, it's not that. It's not that one. Oh, doody-doo. I won't worry about it. I was going to send it to the back, but I'm also going to, since there's nothing on that track, I'll pull that all the way down. I'm going to pull this down real low because I just kind of want it as sort of a delay or an echo. And then because I'm going to put voice on this, I don't want everything straight down the middle. Here's a little mixing lesson for you of how I mix with them. I don't want everything straight down the middle. I want my voice to be straight down the middle. So I'm going to take one guitar and pan it a little, just a little bit off center, like 19-20% to the left. And I'm going to take the other guitar and put it 19% to the right. 19-20%, somewhere around there. But I want, what I'm creating is a V in the sound. So my voice will be dead center and you'll hear me. So if I was going to record an audio track, and I haven't recorded this yet, so I don't even have the words in front of me, but I'll just la-dee-dee-dee-da something. And I'll show you how that goes. There we go. Recorded my little vocal track now. Disarm the track. Put it right there. And we have okay. Isn't that nice? Isn't that cute? And then I found this plugin that I like to use. It's called Nectar Elements. I'm going for modern vibes, modern intensity. And I just put it on the track where I got my... You can't see the pop-up, I know, but it's saying analyzing the vocal signal. It's got a little built-in assistant. So there you go, and it and let's see. Okay, now things are still too loud for me, so I'm gonna pull down my guitars a little bit and keep my voice up. There's my dead space before the track. And then I'll go back here and find Isotope Mastering Essentials. And let's say it's folk, just for fun. Guitars are still too loud to me. There we go. And that's how I would throw together some loops and a little bit of vocal, and there we go. Like I said, let's go back and reiterate, and then I will call this a good stream. Next week, I'm going to show you. Whoa, I keep hitting my mic because I'm not used to it being so close. I'm just a little old lady who likes to play around with a doll. Samples are a full production or full song that you chop up. You need to have permission of the original recorder / performer, publisher, whoever put that song out before you use their sample for anything that you are going to broadcast or put on the internet. Otherwise, they will come after you for copyright infringement. And believe me, people do go after that. They want and they deserve to. They want their share of the money for making that album. And if you take something that somebody else did without their permission, that's actually plagiarization and plagiarism. And that's not good. Plagiarism isn't good. So if you are going to use pieces of somebody else's song, like you like the guitar part from Time in a Bottle, so you get out your Jim Croce CD and you copy that to an MP3 and stick it in your DAW, you need to get permission from everybody whose names appear on that CD before you can do that. A good place to get samples that have already been cleared for you is called tracklib.com. I am not they're not a sponsor. I do not get any money from them. I'm just telling you where people I know who sample get their tracks. It's a subscription service, and you can get some beautiful master tracks there that you can do what you want. They've already been cleared. Tracklib takes care of that for you. Loops and MIDI files, you find those in sample packs, and usually in the sample pack it will say what you can use it for. I know with Curtis King's packs that I get, he gives you what's called royalty free, which means you can use that in anything, and you can put it up for streaming, you can sell it, you can do whatever you want. You own that sound. You bought a copy of that sound. Some of the bigger libraries, I know, again, Curtis King worked with Omnisphere. Omnisphere has a whole library of sounds, and you can get it and use it in your DAW, but at one time, people were getting flagged for using those sounds because the terms in Omnisphere weren't clear of whether you could use those to make songs that you put out on distribution for Spotify or whatever. Curtis King was the one that emailed him and said, hey, I want to use this. Can you clear up these terms? And they cleared up their terms where now you can use those things to make sample packs and things like that. So check your terms of use of the loops or samples that you're using. And yeah, that's what I got for you this week. Like I said, next week, same time, same channel, we are going to be talking about OBS. If you're watching the replay, thanks so much. You know, I know it's Super Bowl Sunday. A lot of people are traveling. A lot of people are getting ready for the game, getting a little nap in before the game starts, and that's great. It's the Eagles and the Chiefs, I believe, and because of good friends of mine who are big Chiefs fans, I'm going to have to go with the Chiefs. I know nothing about either team, but I hear it's going to be a really, really good game. I hope so. I'm actually going to watch it. I don't have a dog in this fight, but I'm more partial to Kansas City because I got friends who are big dyed-in-the-wool Chiefs fans, so I hope whatever you're doing the rest of today, it's good. And Curtis King is going live in a little over 2 hours. Every Sunday we have a producer, creative mastermind, his Patreon group. And this week I think he is going to go live on his channel with the discussion that we have, talking about what is a DIYer. I am a DIYer. I am somebody who makes music because I love it. I do it all start to finish, from creating the sounds or putting the loops together or whatever. I make my own album covers. I put it up for distribution through DistroKid. From start to finish, I own every step of the process, and I'm doing it all by myself. That's a DIYer. Somebody had suggested, hey, I'd like to see some things about music publishing or different things like that. You won't find that on my channel. There are lots of good videos out there by lots of competent experts who could tell you about those things. I'm not into that side of the music. I just make music because I love to make music. Yeah, just do a search for music publishing. You will find tons of people with that kind of information. All right, folks, that fly, goodness gracious, I don't know how he got in here, but man, he's about to get out. I'm gonna open all the doors and windows. I don't care that it's 34 degrees outside. We're going to open the windows and play freeze out. No, not really. Alrighty, guys. I will see y'all next week. Peace and blessings upon you, upon all you love, upon all who love you. Find your passion, grab a hold of it, and do not let it go. You don't have to know what you're doing to enjoy learning what you want to know. All right? Have a good week, and we will see you later.